I mean, one of the interviews that I was watching regarding sound design, which I'm really into right now. And as you can see, my sound is not very good because I have a fan blowing and it's very hot where I am right now. And they were talking about where they actually had microphones recording the movement of the sand. I think they went to Abu Dhabi for shooting a lot of the sand scenes, and they put a microphone inside the sands, and they were recording movement of the sand. I mean, that's incredible, right? I mean, that's just like that. I mean, you would never think about something like that. And they were very, very particular about thinking how. I mean, the visuals are going to be the visuals, but they knew right from the start that the sound is actually going to carry the movie, and not just the visuals, because the visuals are the visuals. I mean, that's just how it's going to be. The costume design, lighting, and the cinematographer is Greg Fraser, which I think he also did Sicario with Denis Villeneuve. I can't. Oh my God, I can't pronounce his name at all. Villeneuve. Denis Villeneuve. Okay, fine. I'm going to have to learn how to pronounce that. So Hans Zimmer was doing the music, composition, and they and Greg Fraser, the cinematographer, and of course the editor was Joe Walker. And Joe Walker also, actually he did Sicario, and he did Dune 1. Now the funny thing is, which I did not know, is Joe Walker also 12 Years a Slave. He also edited that movie, and I think he got an Oscar for that one. He got an Oscar for, if I'm correct, for Dune 1, I think. And Joe Walker actually has a background in music and composition. Apparently, he was a sound editor for the BBC many years ago, and then now he's doing editing. So he was, in one of the interviews, he was saying that he's looking at the movie like a rhythm, like the entire movie has a rhythm of how it's actually flowing from scene to scene. And he's also doing something very, very peculiar. And this is actually the reason why I press record on my camera, is because I wanted to memo this to myself. So even if nobody's watching, I'll be watching this video and reminding myself of this point. See, in cinema editing, there is something known as continuity. That means when you edit from one camera to another camera, you want to make sure that you're editing it correctly, so that way you're seeing the same thing but in a different position. Now, this is something that we already know. When you're shooting a scene, you'll have camera A, camera B, and maybe camera C, and then you edit between the three. You like a multicam type of setup. But what Joe Walker did, which is a little bit different, is even though he shot everything on multi-camera, he did not use everything in sync. I know it's weird when I say it, and I'm going to actually shoot some of my videos, and I'm going to try that. I really am going to try it. I'm going to try to figure out like how I could actually do it. So that means he was. I think the way he was doing it is he was thinking of L cuts and J cuts at the same time, looking at different cameras, and he was moving forward and backward in the sequence. And now I think it works in this case also, is because most of those scenes are with the Bene Gesserit, which is the sisterhood, the witches in the movie, and they use the sound thing to control other people, and they will sound something, and you obey, and stuff like that, So it worked in all those scenes, but I love the idea of what was happening in the editing, like from an editor's point of view. So when I'm editing or thinking of editing, or maybe when you're editing, I think you'll be like now looking at certain freedoms that now we have in editing. So we don't have to stick to solid cinema rules anymore. We know the rules, and now we're breaking them beautifully. That's what I'm trying to say. And thank God, see that right now I'm a brand new YouTuber, so I have very less view counts, which is so. I would love my counts to be much higher, of course. Thank you for your like and subscribe, and thank you for even watching my video. I like when I'm doing videos like this is because I get to experiment a lot of things. I get to have the full opportunity. This is like a classroom for me. I get to have the full opportunity to just make mistakes because, like if I have like a few million followers and if I make a mistake, that means I'm losing money. Right now, I'm not making any money at all, not even a single cent. So to me, it wouldn't really matter. The pressure is not there on my shoulder to be perfect in every single thing that I do. So I'm allowed to make mistakes. I give myself that freedom and tell myself, make something. If it's not nice, don't post it. Or just post it anyway because, well, no one's going to be watching it. So what difference does it make? And this gives me that freedom, that mental space and freedom to try out different things and see if I did this, how would it look? If I did that, how will it look? So I think watching this interview with Joe Walker regarding editing, and I'm playing scenes over here, and I'll put it in my description, of course, if you can, click it, go watch it because it's really beautiful. And it's like how he does his thinking, and mainly it's like he's doing it in layers. So he understands what is there, and then he knows what's there in the front and what's there going on in the background, and it's done very tastefully. So when he was editing, most of the sound design, Hans Zimmer music soundtrack, everything was already ready, or at least maybe they were tweaking it, but it was ready. So when he was editing, he already had the sound in the background, so he knew exactly how to cut the edit and all that stuff, which is such a nice process. When I make a video, when I put it together, I am already thinking about sound. Like I'm thinking, which song should I put? And so I spend a lot of time looking at sound and just telling myself, okay, which song do I want to use? And sometimes the song, puts the speed, the tempo, or the pacing of my video. Am I going slow? Am I going fast? Am I just slow and fast, or nothing at all? Maybe sometimes there is no sound at all. And I just love that whole idea. Like I just it feels nice when I have a soundtrack and then I'm editing to the sound. So anyway, I'm just making this little vlog, and I'm just speaking away because I'm like full of ideas in my head because I'm watching all these interviews and I'm thinking, wow, like how interesting it is to actually make these kind of movies and bring a vision to the big screen. Now I'm a YouTuber, content creator, curator, however you want to put it, however you want to describe it. It doesn't really, I'm not making movies, but I want to approach everything as if I'm making a movie. This gives me a little bit of a seriousness to what I'm doing. And I'm still learning. I'm making mistakes. Every video I'm making mistakes, but every video I'm also learning something new. And I love that because as you add on all these skills and all these little things or tricks or whatever you want to say it, next time when you're actually going to be editing videos, everything will start coming together quite naturally. It's like muscle memory, right? Like it's like playing guitar. When you play guitar, you're looking at the finger. Where's my fret? Am I too high? Am I too low? Am I on the right string? There's 6 strings over there, and all that stuff. And after you're good at it, you don't even look at the fretboard anymore. You can actually look at the microphone and you can sing, and your hand knows exactly where to go because that's pure muscle memory. It's just beautiful. And that's exactly what editing is. And I'm using DaVinci 18 right now. I have not downloaded 19 yet. It is still in beta at this time of recording. Every time I have a book. Actually, I have my book right here. And I have a book that I keep on the side, and I write down all my notes so that way when I'm seeing something that I'm editing, because sometimes, can't remember every single thing because there's so much to do and so much to learn. So I will put everything in my book. And that way I will flip my book and I will take a look and I'm like, oh, wow, I should use that. So I remember all these things. But that's the thing about learning editing is you start adding on so much. And when you're watching interviews, like right now, I'm totally watching Dune 2 interviews. I'll be honest with you, as of this moment, I have not seen the movie yet. I've seen clips of the movies here and there. So as of this recording, I have not watched the whole movie yet. Actually, I'm trying to get some time because it's a very long movie. And I want to watch part 1 first, and then I want to watch part 2 because then it feels so much more beautiful, like the whole thing. But right now, I'm totally in a classroom. I'm studying and listening to all these folks who are like incredible people, the best of the best, and how they're thinking, how they break down a scene, how they're editing, how they're moving the scene from one scene to another, keeping certain things consistent. Sometimes certain things are very abrupt. That means like the scene is going on and suddenly it get cut, and you're like, hey, what happened? And then now you're in the next scene. And all these things are like little movie making tricks, even the more experience you have. So I'm learning these things. I'm learning it very fast and I'm learning it. This is such a great experience of learning things. Anyway, I mean, I'm just rambling away. I just wanted to really make this video just because I had all these thoughts in my head and I thought, let me just make this video. But if you are watching my video, I want to say thank you so much. I do appreciate it. So see you in my next one. Bye-bye.
Give me a war.